And I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Brunei, Darussalam. You have the floor, madam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Madam Chair, at the outset, since this is the first time Brunei Darussalam is taking the floor, please allow me to extend our warmest congratulations on your appointment as Chair of the Fourth Committee and express our appreciation to the UN Secretary General and the Special Committee for their tireless efforts and unwavering dedication in addressing the situation in Palestine year after year. Madam Chair, the question of Palestine remains one of the longest unresolved issues in the United Nations. For 75 years, they have endured a reality of dispossession. And for 56 years, they have lived under occupation. For Palestinians, their long and painful journey towards securing their legitimate rights has been marked by significant challenges, namely enduring the protracted hardships under the occupying power. Today, these hardships have been particularly exacerbated by the recent developments in Palestine and the catastrophic humanitarian situation on the ground. They have not only been subjected to extrajudicial executions, but also the inhumane blockade of Gaza, which has resulted in the deprivation of the most basic necessities, such as food, water, and electricity. We need to acknowledge that the context of the current escalation is a result of the continued oppression by the occupying power, fueled by decades of degrading and dehumanizing the Palestinian people. For far too long, Palestinians have been denied even their right to fight for their freedom and their invaded territories as a result of prolonged occupation, forced displacement, and the continuing expansion of illegal settlements by the occupying power. Brunei Darussalam is deeply concerned over the escalation of violence that has resulted in the loss of innocent lives, unbearable suffering, and destruction of properties. We urge the parties concerned to immediately cease all forms of violence and exercise utmost restraint. We join the international community in calling on the occupying power to de-escalate tensions and halt its aggression against the Palestinians. In this regard, it is important to consistently uphold international law and avoid disproportionate action when addressing violation of international human rights and international humanitarian law. We reiterate our support for an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice regarding questions relating to the legal status and consequences of the occupying power's presence in the occupied Palestinian territory since 1967. We also call for access to be granted to the independent International UN Commission of Inquiry on the occupied Palestinian territory established by the 30th Special Session of the Human Rights Council to enable them to carry out their mandate. Madam Chair, we greatly appreciate the important role of the United Nations Relief Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East, serving as a safety net for the vulnerable and offering opportunities, including employment in Palestine and beyond. Now more than ever, we call on member states to support the work of UNRWA as they carry out their mandate, and we extend our heartfelt condolences to UNRWA team as they carry out We extend our heartfelt condolences to the dedicated UNRWA team and their families who have lost colleagues and loved ones while delivering crucial services during these difficult times. We stand firm in our belief that humanitarian personnel and civilians should never be targeted and must be safeguarded at all times. In alleviating the urgent humanitarian situation in Palestine, the government of Brunei Darussalam will be contributing to UNRWA in the coming week. At the same time, a humanitarian fund for Palestinians in Gaza 2023 has been established in Brunei Darussalam to facilitate public donations as part of efforts to alleviate the sufferings of Palestinians in Gaza. Madam Chair, we emphasize that the plight of the Palestinians remains at the core of the conflict in the Middle East. We cannot achieve lasting peace in the Middle East without an independent state of Palestine based on pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. And finally, Brunei Darussalam remains steadfast in our support for the state of Palestine to be accorded a permanent membership to the United Nations. Thank you.
I thank the distinguished representative of Brunei Darussalam for her statement, and I now give the floor